You ready for the video?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Wow, these are pretty straightforward words.
Practice hopelessness.
Just laugh.
Oh, yes.
He's talking about India.
It's not like
Okay.
in a cold country where
Honestly, I think that what he's saying in the video is very...
Instagram at VishVibez, which will also be down below. Present practice. What's conscious? This is Vish and
Emerald.
And today we'll be responding to Sadhguru's video on
Why you should not be hopeful.
So today I'm here with Emerald. Want to introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Emerald. I'm a model from Austin, Texas. I really enjoy modeling and I'm super excited to be here.
Well, thank you for being here, Emerald. And a quick question. Have you heard of Sadhguru before?
No, I have not.
So he's this guru that we're going to watch. And before we get into that, what are your thoughts on hope? Do you think it's a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing?
I believe that having hope is definitely a good thing. In some circumstances, I believe that being hopeful can actually push you through certain things you go through in life.
Well, I appreciate you sharing that. And before we start, we'd love to hear what you think about hope. Is it a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Comment down below. And before we get into that, where can they find you, Emerald?
My Instagram is EMERALDDLEN.
Yeah, check her out. All of her stuff will also be down below.
Let's get into the video.
I know everybody's selling hope. Hope is a trick. It's a psychological trick. It's a bone in front of you that you will never catch. It's a madness which won't let you rest for a moment. Hopeless. No problem.
Wow, these are pretty straightforward words.
Practice hopelessness.
Sadhguru, my question is it okay to be hopelessly devoted to something, even if your logical mind is saying that no, it's nothing gonna happen? Is it okay to be hopelessly devoted to something? As you say, it is a very sweet thing to happen to somebody, to feel devoted, really devoted.
To something. Chocolates, you're also?
You love his laugh.
Is what?
His laugh.
Oh, yes.
Somebody or
Okay. Devotees, right from ancient times, if you look at the more famous devotees, there have been many who are unheard of. More famous devotees, if you take Mirabai, you take the Nayanmars and many well-known devotees of today, whether Akka Mahadevi or many of them, any number of well-known devotees, historically, they made their name in history. Even those unheard of ones, let's not talk about their life, it's different. Within themselves, they were in a great space. But in their lives, they always attracted too much trouble. Always. Because as you're saying, hopelessly devoted. That's a very bad word, hopelessly devoted. But hopelessness is a good thing. I know everybody's selling hope. That's a psychological game. You can experiment. I'm not talking about devotion to you, but let me talk about hopelessness. Every day, one day suddenly if you feel it's hopeless, maybe you'll feel depressed. Just every day you see it's hopeless actually. What is the damn hope? Anyway you're going to die. Where is the hope for you? It's a hopeless life. Come to terms with the hopelessness, you will see life is really wonderful without any hope. When there is hope, there is no expectation. When there's no expectation, there's no disappointment. You just learn to enjoy. Spring is happening. This is not like Europe or America. Spring means all bright colors will glare in your face. No, subtle things will happen on the tree, you have to look for it. Like jewel, it is sitting on the tree right now. You have to look for it. It'll not blast in your face. Because this is tropical climate, it does things to you like that. But you don't even know when it changed from winter to spring.
He's talking about India.
It's not like
Okay.
in a cold country where it's really cold and then sunlight came up and changes are dramatic there. Here it's subtle, you have to pay attention. If you are hopeless, you would pay attention to everything. Goddamn hope gets you on a hallucinatory mode all the time. So practice hopelessness. Devotion, don't worry about it. Come to terms with hopelessness. Don't hope. You're looking very disappointed now. Practice hopelessness, conscious hopelessness, really is hopeless. You will see, you will be in a fine place in your life. Hope is a trick. It's a psychological trick, it's a bone in front of you that you will never catch. If you put a contraption for a dog with a bone, it'll run for its lifetime. This is hope. Become hopeless. Where is the hope for you? Believe me, at the best thing that can happen to you is Isha crematorium. Otherwise, I don't know where you will die. So there is no hope. You think you'll escape? You think you'll escape? No. So no hope. Come to terms with your hopelessness. You will see, you will become so beautiful. This goddamn hope is making you so unrealistic. All kinds of explosions in your mind, which has got nothing to do with reality. If you become hopeless, you will simply do what you can do. What you can do, you will do. What you cannot do, you will not do. This is how life should be, isn't it? Whatever we can do must happen. What we cannot do, no problem about it. Hope is not like that, it's a madness which won't let you rest for a moment. You can't close your eyes. When you're very hopeful, I will say shunya meditation. Too much hope won't let you close your eyes. Hopeless, no problem. Practice hopelessness, don't worry about devotion, because what you're talking about is not devotion.
Emerald, that was an interesting video about hope. What are your thoughts?
Okay, honestly, I think that what he's saying in the video is very realistic, because if you have a lot of hope in your life and you're hoping for new things every day, you're more than likely not going to achieve those things, and then you're just going to become in a state of not really, maybe a state of sadness, because you realize you have all this hope and it's not exactly realistic at that time. So the idea of being hopeless, or at least more hopeless in life, is a lot easier, to be honest. I agree with what he's saying.
That was great insight, Ashley. I think you actually gave a really amazing summary of that video, and yeah, I would agree. I mean, although I have slightly different perspectives, surprisingly, I mean, I guess I'll mention this quick point with Sadhguru. I've actually never ever disagreed with him, but I've never always agreed with him.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay, right? I think it's super healthy and important for us to be critical with what we hear, what we listen, and not just blindly follow, right? So with that being said, I think he brings up great points. I mean, hope is kind of like a selling, marketing scheme in a way. It's like, oh, yeah, just have hope and you'll be fine. But no, if you just rely on hope, you're not going to get anywhere. You got to do something. On the other hand, though, I feel like at times it could be helpful, right? I mean, you were mentioning this before to me. And actually, before we get into that, I would love to hear what you all think, before we continue with this discussion, about hope after hearing Sadhguru's video in the comments down below. So basically what I was thinking was, if you were at a position where you can't do anything, right? Let's say you truly are hopeless, right? Not like in your mind hopeless. Yeah. For example, I'm making this up, you had a pet fish that's gonna die, and it was just given tomorrow being the expiration date, and you can't do anything. Again, this is a made up story. But the point is, yeah, I mean, I don't think it would hurt to hope that it would live another day longer. Although, actually, I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it can hurt?
I think it might, but it might not.
Tell me.
It's hard to agree and disagree 100%, but I would say, everybody in their right mind would say if that was an expiration date tomorrow, you would hope for more days. But then if you think about the realistic side and there is an expiration date, you can't hope for that at the same time, because when it doesn't happen, it's just going to be like, dang, I really wish, but hopelessness would have helped you in that situation.
That was actually a really awesome takeaway. I think, it's only been your first video watching him, right? I think you connected even more than me, so shouts out to you. And I think that makes sense, right? Because at the end, it's building up this, false expectation,
Yes.
right? Literally unrealistic expectation. And as a result, you're just setting yourself up for failure. And I think, and this is what I've come to realize, death is actually a beautiful thing. Again, it's all about perspective, right? And I think it's beautiful because if there was no like expiration date for this body, there's no value to the time that we have, right? Because if we were immortal, like then we can do whatever the hell we want. But having to eventually, have this body die, not to make this morbid, but the point is that like it gives value to the time. And so I think using that time to just think and hope, you're wasting your time, right? What do you think?
I agree, because I feel like, like you said, if we were immortal, everybody would be wasting their time doing things they don't really want to do just to pass the time. But if you live in the moment with the realisticness that your life does have an expiration date, you take everything more seriously and you do things for yourself rather than do things for, everybody else, because you know exactly what's going to happen in the end. So I agree.
I agree with that as well. And this was definitely interesting. I mean, again, I still feel like at times hope can be okay. I just don't think you should rely on it, right? But I also do see the other side, as you amazingly mentioned, as well as Sadhguru talks about the hope. I guess it makes sense. So there's no need to confuse it too much. He also mentioned devotion. Do you know what that means?
Not 100% no.
What do you think it means?
I think there's a possibility you could be talking about it in a religious sense, and then your devotion to whoever you believe in or what you believe in, possibly.
Okay, that's a great, I guess, way of looking at it. And before we continue, we'd love to hear what you think devotion means in the comments down below. So devotion, at least from what I've understood, and I was a bit curious. I mean, towards the end, he said that don't even think about it because it's a whole different thing. And that's why I'm curious as to why he said that. But it actually comes down to, I think, giving your all to whatever you do. So you can be devoted to a religion, like a god, or you can be devoted to your job. I know you do lots of jobs. So being devoted to it means that you're giving your all, right? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense.
So I think devotion, because I think what he was trying to say, and this is maybe just my interpretation, which could be wrong, but again, I'm open for discussion. So if you think I'm wrong, comment down below. You got it. Yeah. She's learning quick. But yeah, the point is, I think we tend to associate it with just prayer, right? Or just like a religion. But it's not just that. You can be devoted to your work. You can be devoted to your family. You can be devoted in so many different things. And I think ultimately the key is just to give your all to whatever you do, because if you think about it, whenever you're doing something, it's a part of the present moment, and this present moment is all that you have and all that you'll ever have, so you might as well give it your all. What do you think about that?
I agree 100%, because that's what I do all the time. I try not to worry about the future and dwell on the past, because all I have is the current moment. So everything I do, I do devote it to that exact thing.
Perfect. And I want to take this time to just sincerely appreciate you all for watching, as well as Emerald for you being here. And just remind the viewers, where can they find you?
My Instagram is EMERALDDLEN.
And all of our stuff will be down below. And if you have any other video reaction requests, or maybe just other people, types that you want on the show, you can also comment down below. And I forgot to mention this before, but I am an aspiring yogi. I've been meditating for over 4 years now, love all things wisdom, meditation, yoga based. So if you have any questions about that, hit me up on Instagram at VishVibez, which will also be down below. And with that, make a great day, take it joyfully, and stay conscious. Awesome job, Emerald.
Thank you.
You did great.
Thank you.